Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. We got a ton of news to get through today. Big developer confirmations on Twitter about some new key additional information, important community feedback on the Season 1 announcement, Blizzard hiring new roles, and a brand new reward you can earn right now. Okay, so kicking things off, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we got a brand new hotfix patch yesterday for 1.0.4, and it actually results in the Necromancer Bloodlance ability being nerfed. It states that enhanced Bloodlance can now only pierce up to 10 enemies max, and the aspect of Hungry Blood now fires up to a maximum of 3 Bloodlances per cast. Now, they did state that this is indeed a nerf to Bloodlance because this has literally been breaking the game and crashing the server, so it's a temporary solve while the team reworks their way around the legendary aspect and its function, and we can expect that change to come in sometime in Season 1 or shortly after that. As you can see on screen right now, Bloodlance was absolutely tearing through mobs, and people were actually figuring out a way to make this build viable and very effective, but the problem is that it was literally breaking the game and crashing your computer or the servers if you cast too many Bloodlances at once. So with Blizzard's hands tied behind their back at this point, they're forced to nerf the ability and try to come up with some sort of fix heading into Season 1. Speaking of developers being quick to make a fix, man, they actually made a recent announcement stating that uber unique drops are going to be temporarily disabled in the game, because I'm sure all of you have heard about recently with a ton of people able to get the Shaco helmet inside of Helltide chest farming the other night, and the community has been going crazy about it, even making memes on Reddit showing how the people over on North America had the opportunity to farm the Helltide chest while all the Europeans were asleep at night, not even having the opportunity. They've been even making statements saying that Blizzard can't even fix gem tabs until Season 2 for some arbitrary reason, even though people have been asking for it since beta. Then Blizzard will go ahead and see us having fun getting Shakos, then work overtime at 8 p.m. at night to go into the depths of their codebase to issue an instant hotfix so you won't have any more quote-unquote fun. Pretty much they're just calling Diablo 4 developers the fun police lately, which honestly isn't too far of a stretch in my opinion. I mean, I still don't really see the issue with people acquiring super rare unique items if they're target farming in general, and it also doesn't mean they're automatically getting the item for free. You know, there's still a very low chance of you even obtaining that said item, and it's still incredibly difficult and time consuming to do. In my opinion, the endgame of Diablo at the moment is simply killing Uber Lilith and acquiring the most rare uniques in the game, and at this point, acquiring any of those is so incredibly rare that it's honestly frustrating the community more than anything. I think in a seasonal game where you can only enjoy a character fully beefed out for like about 3 months, it's completely fine to be acquiring these super awesome unique items to really skyrocket the amount of fun and power your character can reach or obtain. Now, they don't have a set timetable on when this is going to be activated and up again, but at this point, the Uber uniques at the normal drop rate simply weren't dropping at all, so now having them completely disabled doesn't really change anything, and it's kind of the exact same situation in the first place. We also got some more confirmation from the developers about the Battle Pass, with a user on Twitter asking if we will have to reach level 100 every season to complete the Battle Pass as a whole, because they're barely getting their first character to level 100 after over 200 hours of playing. With the GOAT developer, Joe, simply responding, nah, definitely not. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't aware, to progress through the Battle Pass, you need to earn favor in order to progress through the levels. And the way that you earn favor is by completing chapters that have objectives attached to them for you to complete. These are as simple as collecting resources out in the open world like Gallovine, killing certain monsters, and completing specific dungeons. And generally, they're very straightforward to do. Once you earn those said favor, you head on over to the Battle Pass progression seasonal screen and invest points and make your way through the Battle Pass levels. Just remember that the Battle Pass is strictly cosmetic only and gives you no increase to character power. As you can see on screen here, you have the Premium Battle Pass advertisement for Diablo 4, where they give you the mounts and mount armor, a collection of armor sets for all 5 different classes, emotes, headstones, weapon transmogs, and platinum. I've never personally cared about cosmetics too much in any of the games that I play, but it all is actually a very good bang for your buck considering the price attached to it. Speaking of the new season, we have some community response on how they are concerned about some of the features coming into Season 1. Now, with probably the most common issue being occurred from every single player of Diablo 4 being stash and storage space throughout all of your characters. It seems like we may continue to have this problem all throughout Season 1 heading into Season 2. The reason for this is the major feature for Season 1 is all about slaying corrupted enemies, which are a type of malignant monster, which will drop what is called a malignant heart. Now, you then capture these hearts and then place them into your special infested sockets in your jewelry in place of your normal gems. As you can see in the game right now, here's a little bit of a preview of someone acquiring hearts and having them in their inventory. There is no special tab, there is no malignant heart pouch, none of that. It's going to be held right inside of your inventory, and honestly, the community is starting to get a little worried and overwhelmed at this point, asking why they're introducing another thing to take up inventory space, but not actually introducing additional inventory space to store all this, simply asking why it's difficult to add more stash space, and that they're ready to hear in layman's terms why this is even the case. Or maybe on the off chance that they're finding a way to monetize the situation to have us pay real life money for additional storage space, which by the way can be possible, but it is a bold claim. Another user stating that they are a programmer and don't see the difficulty behind adding inventory space other than it being too heavy on the database and making queries slower. Once again, bringing up the fact that the reason they might not be adding inventory space is it will become much harder to take it away, or they would simply just want to monetize it, and that either way they need to come up with a plan other than stalling it out. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important to try and stay positive in a situation like this, even though I voiced my opinion all the time about these concerns weeks ago. The only thing we can do is simply wait and believe them when they say they are working on it and trying to get it implemented into the game for the better. But as of right now, it looks like all of us are going to be stuck creating level 1 storage characters to store all of our equipment on heading into Season 1, which comes out in roughly a week and a half. There is some hope over from Rod Ferguson over on Twitter, at least stating that they're working on having gems be part of the materials list instead of taking up inventory space or stash space. But once again, we have no official date or any iteration of when that could be coming anytime soon. Another massive concern heading into Season 1 is the progressing leveling from 75 to level 100. The community is starting to get a little bit restless in the sense that they like the Season 1 content, they are excited with everything coming, and generally very happy, but what are they going to be doing with their characters level 80 onwards, stating that there is no real goal. The only goal there is Uber Lilith, and we're not getting any new world tiers or any new features or mechanics. Is this going to be the same boring leveling for no reason? I think it's very important to know, ladies and gentlemen, as a player, that Diablo 4 is a complete seasonal game, man, and we have to remember that. The best part about this game is simply creating a new character in a seasonal environment with everyone all at the same time, and during your leveling journey, you gear up your character and hopefully just get lucky with some loot drops all at the same time. I mean, I've come to learn, honestly, recently that this game isn't all about staying 24/7 on one single character, because if you do that, you're going to get bored and just simply burn out very quickly once you start heading into the level 75 plus level bracket onward. So when it comes to post level 80 content, they don't really have an answer right now. And honestly, I don't either. With that being said though, when Season 1 comes out, I'm going to be going for Uber Lilith kill myself, so maybe that could be a goal for you also. Additionally, there is some good and bad news because we actually got some clarification on what is going to be transferred over when it comes to Renown heading toward the upcoming season. Rod Ferguson confirmed that areas discovered and altars of Lilith will carry over into Season 1 when it comes to your Renown progression, and that dungeons and side quests will be reset. Now, of course, we all are very happy that we don't have to run around collecting all those altars of Lilith again, and we also will start, if you did your due diligence of getting your Renown, with 5 additional skill points and 9 potion charges, as well as your mount, starting off at level 1. So all these are very good for progressing your character much quicker and faster, so your power level is going to be very stronger, everything is going to move a lot quicker and be smooth. But this does have a downside as well, with the fact that the last 2 levels of Renown are not going to be carried over. So if we're looking for grinding out those Paragon points, we're going to have to do that all over again. By the way, an incredible crucial heads up to hardcore players out there is that if you've already made all of the progression with your Renown, you need to make sure that your character is not dead before the 18th of July, because you will not get credit for transferring over your Renown into Season 1 if you can't log into your hardcore character by the 18th. So you need to take special care of your character until then. Do not die. Don't do anything crazy. It might be even smart to take a break. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But make sure your character's alive by the 18th to log in, transfer your Renown data over. Speaking of hardcore, by the way, the developers officially announced that they're going to be reviewing some of the Forgotten Souls whose achievements slipped through the cracks due to the entry era for the Hardcore Statue Challenge for the race to World First 1000 hardcore players. So hopefully they correct the mistakes that they made before and get those players on there who weren't recognized properly. Another big change made recently to the game with the spawn rate of elite monsters inside of dungeons, and it's something that's brought up constantly within the community and toward the developers. The big issue is that this is something that's not going to be changing anytime soon. You know, one of the game lead's developers was asked over on Twitter if monster density is going to be increased. He simply replied saying it's something the team is actively looking into, but they don't have a timeline on it just yet, which pretty much means that they've noticed the complaints and concerns, but they're going to be putting it on the back burner for a while. So if you were hoping to hop into those dungeons with an insane amount of elite monsters in them, it looks like you're going to have to wait a few seasons for something like that. Lastly, it looks like Diablo 4 developer team is hiring a ton of positions. This also includes game producer for seasons and live operations, as well as senior managers and game producers, gameplay engineers, designers for literally every aspect of a game you can think of, including quest design, dungeon design, UI design, and all in-game activities. And lastly, VFX artists as well as shop and dungeon artists as well. Once again, to me, this seems like the developers are taking the progression of Diablo 4 very seriously and looking to hire and beef up their team for the future development of the game. Obviously, this includes seasons as well as additional styles of play, but will definitely include expansions coming into the game, which has me very excited. Lastly, for the news, ladies and gentlemen, officially the Prime Gaming rewards with cosmetics have officially been released with the Brackish Fetch Mount Armor bundle over on Prime Gaming. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can go on over there and earn your exclusive rewards today. But that's going to wrap up the news and development for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with you, I think Diablo is going to be a very solid game later on down the line with all these updates, and it's really going to blow everyone out of the water 3 to 4 seasons down the line. Just remember not to be so attached to one game, because Diablo 4 is seasonal. By the way, we also want to take a moment to shout out our channel members over here on YouTube, because you all are the #1 supporters of the Comeback Kids, and we absolutely could not keep this channel going without you all. The giveaway for our channel members this month of July is going to be the brand new Razer Kraken V3 HyperSense headset, worth over $130. So if you all are interested in earning exclusive rewards for the Comeback Kids personally, as well as the opportunity of being offered giveaways constantly, click that join button below the video or hit that link in the description to become an official Comeback Kid today and show some support. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. It's an absolute pleasure to be making content for you all. Until the very end, my name is Sky from the Comeback Kids. I will see you all in the next one. Peace!